Zindabad. I'm Pragati Agrawal, and today we are discussing the concept and the components of PyQT, okay, components. So in the earlier lecture, previous to this one, in this playlist, I was already discussing these and I was covered with this concept of widgets, what widgets are, but since there was a power cut, that's why I couldn't continue, so let's resume it today in this video. Now, basically what widgets were, we created a calculator, okay, we said that let's suppose we have given an app, calculator app to the user, and with this calculator a user interacts. Now basically what widgets are, I told you the label in that can have a text or an image. It can have a text and an image, it can hold it, okay. So it is a widget. Then the buttons that the user interacts with, they are also called the widgets. Then I talked about checkboxes, that there can be multiple options among which a user can select some of the options. So there are the checkboxes, these are also called as widgets. Now we have done with the concept of widget. Generally when the user interacts with the application, everything in general he interacts with is a widget. Now what are layout managers? Second concept is of the layout manager. So basically the alignment, the fashion in which these widgets are aligned, okay, that is decided by the layout managers. How? The calculator that we have taken, okay, so there comes a label and below this should come these buttons, okay. Again in the next row, in this first row and in the next row should come again 3 buttons. Let's suppose, so this is aligned vertically, okay, one below the other, okay, one row below the other. This is which kind of layout is it? It is vertical layout. And similarly we have a horizontal layout. If suppose there is an app or anything on the screen where we have inside the row, we have to align the things horizontally, then that is known as horizontal layout, okay. So the fashion in which the widgets are to be aligned, that is decided by the layout managers. Now I am just taking the theoretical and the conceptual part here, but not explaining you in the form of code. So we will be coding it on system in the coming lecture. First I want to just explain you the major things that are involved in building this UI, okay, that helps interact with the user, helps user interact with the application. Okay, so next thing, dialogues. The third thing is dialogues, the pop-ups, okay. So when we are exiting an application, there is a pop-up. Are you sure you want to exit? Okay, so these kind of pop-ups that come when a user is taking some kind of decision that he or she must think of twice, then we put these pop-ups in between, okay, or there is some kind of warning or that user must not do this, then we put pop-ups, okay. So there is a pop-up, warning pop-up, let's suppose. So we will be coding this also. Now the fourth thing is the main window. Now what is main window? The application has this particular complete application that we are seeing. So this is wholly the main window on which everything is aligned, okay, on which everything we have put. This is the main window. So in an app we can have a menu bar, okay, we can have, you might have seen Excel, MS Excel. So there is a file option, then there is a view option, there is an edit option, multiple options are there, and when you click on those buttons, the menu bar I am talking about, we all have learned this in 5th or 6th standard, but again we will be revising this here because we will be building these apps. So menu bar is something when you click on the file option, there are multiple options. Then let's suppose save as option is there, we click that. Then so there is a kind of hierarchy. When you are clicking on a file, then it will take you to multiple options, and then from those list of options, if you select save as, let's suppose, then save as, and then there is this pop-up thing to save the file, and then we write the name of the file, in which format we have to save it, and then we click save. So there is this hierarchical thing. When there is this hierarchical pattern of doing something, then all those options inside that, the bar that consists of all such options, that includes hierarchy, hierarchical pattern when on decision making, that is known as menu bar. Okay, now comes toolbar. Okay, toolbar in the paint you might have seen many tools. The moment you click paint button, this brush button, brush gets selected. When you click the pencil icon, the pencil gets selected. So it's a kind of a shortcut to any thing that you want to use. Okay, shortcut to any tool and not the hierarchical thing. Okay, first click this, then click this, then click this. A series of steps are not involved. Instead, there is one tool, you click it and use it. Okay, now the shortcut to whatever you want to do. Now comes central widget area, the main area that you interact with. Okay, the main application that you are interacting with, the main thing. Okay, next comes status bar. Okay, so if you are coders or not, if you are not from a coding background, then this example is not for you, but it's still for you because soon you are entering coding, because I am explaining you everything. So if you have seen VS Code, right? So what is VS Code? Basically, it's an IDE on which we generally learn how to code. Okay, we code multiple softwares. Okay, so in VS Code, if you are creating a Flutter app or any app, if you are creating any app, then if you have connected the app that you have created to test that app, to run that app on your phone, what we do, we generally connect our phone with our system. So if your phone gets connected to this code, means it is ready to run this code on your this application that you have built, it is ready to run on your phone, then what happens, it will show it in the status that this device is ready. Okay, so that status of the current status of anything that we need to know, the user wants to know, the coder wants to know, in this case of VS Code that I have talked, then that is status bar. Okay, so let's suppose in the background, if that anything, any application you are interacting with, in the background it is downloading something, okay, then it will show it in the status bar. Let's suppose the VS Code, I will talk about this IDE in the coming videos. Okay, so for now, if you are not a if you are not from a coding background, or if you are not understanding what I am talking about, then we will be taking it, don't worry. Now, so whatever you are when you are doing something, we are downloading some in the POM file, if I remember, in the POM file when we write the dependencies, whatever we want, Cupertino icons, anything. So when we are writing it and when we are updating it, we are downloading it, Flutter run when we do. So no, when you Flutter upgrade when you do, then what it does, it's taking it from the internet, it's downloading this, it's pulling it. So when it is pulling it, it is showing it in the below in the status that it is updated, or it's downloaded, or it's successfully done without any error. So the status shown in the application, there is this status bar where the status of the application gets updated on user input. Okay, so next comes application. What is it? Basically the app that you are creating, app. And that app is run, okay, and we execute that app and also we exit that app. So the app that we are interacting with, this is created from this Q application instance. So this is the class from which we create the app. I already took the concept of classes and objects. What classes? It's a kind of an architecture, and from that architecture we are building those houses. So architecture doesn't have the physical existence, but those houses that we have created, they definitely have the existence, and we can build multiple houses. So this one object, the one application that has the existence that we create while we click this run, and this app runs. What runs? That object is the one holding that complete application that has the existence. This app on which we are working with, this Q application class is used to create that object. Okay, so we talked about this thing also. Main window, the main window that consists of all these widgets and the layout that helps align these in a particular fashion, these widgets in a particular fashion. We talked about dialogues and layout managers, dialogues, main window, application, widgets, everything is done. Two things are left, and these are the most important ones. Okay, when I said that on a calculator, the interaction, when the user says 5 plus button on which 5 is written. So what is happening? You are clicking that button, you are interacting with it. Okay, the user is interacting with it. That interaction is to be responded, है ना? On the moment person presses 5 should be written on this label. It should become here written. This is known as an event. The moment you are taking that cursor on any of the widgets or you are moving that cursor, they are sensing it. Okay, they are sensing it. That's the beginning of the event. The moment you click it, that's an event. To hold, to respond to that event, there are event loops, the event handlers. So there is one event loop in an application, and in a queue, the moment you click this, then that, whatever is there, it comes inside an event loop. Okay, inside a queue that holds it. It takes the event, and then the moment the current event, it takes it, and how to respond to it. It is checked how to respond to the event. I will create a separate video on event loops, but I am helping you understand this in short for now. So it takes it. Okay, the user has clicked it. It will take the event and it will respond to that event. How to respond to it? Okay, this file should come here. Okay. So this is basically the detection of event, and accordingly response is made to that. Now last one is the signals and the slots. So basically what slots are? We talked about functions. An object can perform any particular function. We talked about this robot thing. Okay, we took an example of a robot class from which we have created an object robot that has a physical existence. Now that robot can dance, it can walk, it can talk, it can. Okay, so we talked about these actions. We said that these are the this object can perform certain functions. These are known as the methods in the coding language, and it also has some attributes that it holds. So when we said that it can perform some actions. Now what are actions? These are the functions or the methods in the methods in the coding language. So what are these slots? These slots are those methods only. Okay, so don't get confused with this term slots. These are those methods that this object can perform. Now buttons connected to the functions that I have written. Okay, so the communication between the objects happen. What I am saying. So basically, listen carefully. We will be coding it and understanding it. It's very easy. So basically, when you open an app and there are multiple buttons, when you click any button and certain action is to be performed, this slot is to be executed, right? That slot that is to be executed, it is to be connected with this button, right? So we have to write in the code. I will help you understand that. We have to write dot click the dot connect. Okay, this is the syntax, the rule of writing it in the code. We will be taking it. So we have to connect this button with this slot. This connection is done. This is one of the concepts that help build these apps. Okay, so when you click the addition button, the addition should be performed on clicking it. This connection between that button and this slot, okay, the object button, and between this other function that is to be executed, this connection is the last concept or component that of PyQT. So yeah, we have understood everything in details. If you have found anything that you haven't understood, if there is anything that you couldn't understand, do mention it in the comments below. And it's my request to you all, and the ones who are watching me, if you are watching me, right, if you have understood the things, then do like this video and subscribe to my channel, because it motivates me a lot to come up with more videos and explain you everything even in a better way. So yeah, if you couldn't understand anything, do mention it, and if you have understood, then that's totally fine. And yeah, in the next lecture we will be installing PyQT and we will be coding the apps. So yeah, bye bye, take care, thank you, do subscribe please.